So you had a fight, you made up, you're back in bed, you want to reconnect, but your erection's gone missing. Let me tell you why that happens and what to do about it. Because if you think it's just the stress, you're missing the real story. In this video, I'm giving you 3 psychological reasons why your body shuts down after conflict. Let's break the cycle and fix the real block. I'm a clinical sexologist, a medical doctor, an academic with over 2 decades of experience working with men, couples, and the emotional minefield of erection. Because let's be honest, this isn't just about blood flow. This is about feeling safe, feeling seen, and feeling open, none of which are easy when you have just had a blow up or walking on eggshells. Let me start with what happens first and fastest in your body. Tip number 1. Your nervous system is still in survival mode. Here's the truth, your body doesn't care that your fight is over. Your brain doesn't just switch from threat to turn on mode instantly. Because when you argue, especially if it's intense, unresolved, or emotional, your nervous system flips into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Adrenaline spikes, cortisol floods, muscles tighten, breath shorten, your brain starts to scanning for danger. And sex? Sex lives in an opposite system rest, digest, and receive. So when the word I'm sorry are said, your body might still clenching, guarded, and not ready. And that includes your pelvic floor. That subtle but powerful group of muscles at the base of your body. After conflict, many men carry tension down there without realizing it. Your pelvic floor goes into lockdown. You might feel heavy, numb, or disconnected below the belt because your body hasn't got the signal that things are safe again. Now, here's the move. Instead of jumping straight into sex, soothe your system first. Take at least 10 deep breaths. Drop your shoulders. Put your hands on your lower belly. Exhale like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Feel into your pelvic floor and relaxing. This is about Kegel. It's about releasing the tension, not tightening it. If you want a deeper dive on how your pelvic floor affects your erection, especially when stress is involved, watch my other video about pelvic floor and ED. I'll break everything down there. You can find a link above somewhere here. But even once your body is back on board, there's another reason erection don't come back after conflict. And it's more emotional than physical. Let's talk about that hidden pressure to make things right in the bedroom and how that shuts everything down. Tip number 2, sex becomes emotional cleanup duty. Let's be real for a sec. After a fight, you're not just trying to reconnect, you're also trying to make it right, to prove everything's okay, to show that you are still close, still connected, still in love. And for a lot of men, that pressure lands in one place. If I can just have sex with her, everything's back to normal. Which brings us to the second reason erections doesn't show up after conflict. Sex become emotional repair, not desire. You're not there to play. You're there to prove something, to show that it's fine, that she's okay, that you're okay. And what started as a chance to reconnect turns into a test. Can I get hard this time? Will this fix things? She needs this to feel loved. I better perform. Now, if you've been here before, you already know what happens. Your erection starts to feel like a pressure gouge, and your body folds because erection hates pressure. They hate providing, fixing, performing, and when intimacy becomes about repair instead of pleasure, the whole things get tight, clinical, fragile. I had a client tell me this exact thing. We had a fight the day before. And I thought if we had sex, it would bring us back. But I couldn't stay hard, and it made everything worse. He didn't need more blood flow, he needed relief from pressure. So here's what I told him: stop trying to make sex the solution. Make it a space to feel again, to play, to touch without fixing. That means no pressure to finish, no goal to make it normal, just presence, just play. But sometimes, even when you have released the pressure, even when you have softened the moment, your body still resists. And that's often because of something even deeper, something you haven't even admitted to yourself. Let's talk about unspoken resentment. Tip number 3, unspoken resentment blocks arousal. Here's where things get uncomfortable but real. You can love someone, you can be committed to them, you can want to reconnect and still carry a little voice inside that says, I'm still hurt. You don't get how much that fight drained me. I forgave you, but I'm still not okay. That, my friend, is resentment. And resentment doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in your body and it shows up in bed. You can think you have moved on, but your nervous system remembers, and your erection, it speaks for the part of you that's still guarded. Because when we hold on to resentment, even silently, we protect ourselves. We don't open fully. We don't surrender. We don't feel freely. And guess what? Erections need exactly that: openness, surrender, flow. Here's the thing: sometimes your erection shuts down, not because of them, but because of your body doesn't feel safe expressing you. You might be mad that you gave in too soon. You might feel misunderstood or dismissed or taken for granted. And even though you say it's fine, your body never agreed. Resentment is the emotional version of a clenched jaw. You smile, but your teeth are tight. You touch, but your heart isn't in it. You try to get hard, but your body doesn't trust the moment. So, what's the mood? It's not always to talk it out right before sex, but it's about noticing what you're still holding, about asking yourself, am I actually feeling connected or just pushing through? Because sometimes the most intimate thing you can do is pause and say, I want to connect, but I think I'm still holding on to something. Can we slow it down? And here's what's interesting: that kind of honesty, that kind of softness, is often does more to restore arousal than every other technique that you can ever do. But even when you have processed the emotion, drop the pressure, and relax your body, there's still one more layer, one final block most men never think about. And that's where the real shift happens. Because it's not about repairing sex, it's about redefining what intimacy looks like after conflict. Tip number 4, and I know this is a bonus tip: redefine intimacy after conflict. Okay, here's the part no one tells you, but this is where the deepest shift happens. You don't need to have sex to reconnect. You need to rebuild trust in the space between you. So many men use sex after fight as a shortcut. They want to fast track intimacy as if penetration will reset the connection. But when trust is shaky, when emotions are still tender, you can't shortcut closeness. You have to rebuild it with presence. That means creating moments that feel safe, open, playful, without immediately turning it sexual. Because if your partner feels like you're pushing for sex too soon, they will tense up. And if you're pushing yourself to perform just to smooth things over, you will tense up. But if you pause and instead say something like, let's just hold on to each other for a bit. Let's sit close, no pressure. I just want to feel near you again. You invite nervous system regulation. You invite connection without conditions. And that is the actual fix, because arousal grows in safety. Erection respond to relaxed openness, not emotional debris. And speaking of the body, this is exactly where your pelvic floor comes back into the picture. A lot of men carry that post-conflict tension right into the core. They clench their jaw, their shoulder, but also their hip and the breath and the pelvic floor. So if you're noticing that your erection still doesn't respond after emotional repair, go check out my other video, pelvic floor and ED. You will learn how to soothe, not squeeze, because your turn on is not just mental, it's muscular too. If you ever struggle to get hard after argument, you're not broken. Your body is not failing, it's protecting you. Your erection is a barometer for emotional safety, and conflict, even when resolved, can shake that up. But with the right step, the right pacing, and the right mindset, you can bring arousal back into your relationship. Not as a proof that you're moved on, but as a sign that you're finally present again. If you want to go deeper, not just theory, but practice, get to my free 3-day masterclass, The Heart Root. It's where I break down the physical, mental, and relational roots of ED. And if you need a daily system, a reminder to bring back warmth, touch, and emotional closeness, my 30-day intimacy guide is your next step. It's smart and it works. And finally, if the tension is still living in your body and you want to feel connected from the ground up, go watch my next video, Pelvic Floor and ED. Let's release what's stuck and bring your body back online.